Hey, what is up, champions? Welcome to Elevate the World podcast. I'm trained like Prince. We got Scotty the Body and Ange Fit with us today, and we're rocking with episode 19. And today we're going to talk about mastering your energy. And this goes way beyond just a physical level. We're talking about mental, spiritual, all that good stuff, and whatever that may mean specifically to you. All right. But before we get into that, Ange, you want to hit us with that quote, please?
I do. Okay. Aristotle getting
Oh,
deep
man.
today.
Oh,
That I know. The energy of the mind is the essence of life. I feel like
That
saying
part.
namaste after that.
Yeah,
Namaste.
you got
right.
to. Yeah, you had to close that off. Close that off right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
doesn't namaste mean the energy in me and the light in me respects the light and the energy in you? Did I
Mm-hmm.
get that
Something
right?
along
Something
those
like
Somebody,
that.
lines.
somebody comment the correct saying if you're watching this.
Yeah, like enlighten us wholeheartedly, completely, so we get it right. Yo, I think this topic for me, this topic just hits close to home. It's something that I've been really mindful of, I want to say since like maybe 2020, 2019, maybe even. But like lately, like with new baby, even like just distribution of energy has been vital, and like truly knowing like my energy stores and different stuff and different things of that nature. So yeah, energy is gonna be a heavy topic, at least that's what I feel it's gonna be. So let's go ahead and start with that first question. And this whole term came up from Nipsey Hussle. I was watching an interview and he was talking about karma and about like your intentions and how like even if you don't get caught for something, that energy still like manifests some other way. You know what I mean? Like it still can come back to you or whatever. And he used the term you got to learn how to master your energy. And have you guys seen that it's anime? It's called Yu Yu Hakusho, something like that. Have you seen this, Scotty?
Mm,
All right. Anyway,
no.
dude, there's this part in the show where like this guy he dies and he goes to the spiritual realm, and like this the master of the universe is this baby, and he gives him this egg, and he's like he said, this is your energy. He said, you must master it. If you master it, it will take care of you. If you don't, it will destroy you. And I was just like, yo, that's a deep concept. And it
It's
just
Okay.
made me
true.
think about like for real, I was like, dang, really? If I master it, it'll take care of me. If I don't, it'll destroy me.
Hmm.
And I really started thinking about that. And for me, like what the question is, what do you feel it means to master your energy? I'd say there's a lot of different things I could go off of. I'll take a couple people that I would say lead an example of that. Bruce Lee was probably one of them, and he talked about being formless. And I think one of the biggest things you see about
Like
people
water.
who, you know what I mean, like water, exactly. People who master their energy is they even if they feel different emotions or they go through different things, they know how to remain calm no matter what. I feel like they have that certain like stillness. They adapt well. They are formless like water. You know what I mean? And I think that they have a big understanding of their true power. I feel like I know certain people who they have a lot of energy. It's just not mastered. And I look at them like, dude, if you actually like knew what you were doing, you would be a freaking beast, a monster out here. You know what I mean? And last quote that comes up when I think about mastering your energy is, and it's recent. You guys have probably heard it too. Um, it's been like on like repetitively, but it's this guy, he says, I think you should be a monster and then learn how to control it. And it goes against this whole grain of like, like either turning yourself down for other people or like the term of like being humble and this and that. He was like, no, you should be a monster, be completely you, like own that, and then learn how to control it and master it. So I bounced off and rambled a lot with that topic, but I think there's so many different things to it. I think the biggest thing to it though is being formless, being in control of who you are, what you are, because you're not just a who, it's a big what inside of you. And learning how to project that and utilize that throughout life. You know what I mean? So that's my take on that first question. What you got, Ange?
I love everything you said. And I feel like you answered that question so well. Good
It was a
job.
lot.
Like
It was a lot to throw
that,
out.
right. So I agree with you. So it's the universe, people, society, social media, like we can go on and on and on and on, is always going to throw things at you. Mostly, guys, negative. Like a lot of times it's just a lot of noise. Mastering your energy to me is exactly what you said. Being able to control your reaction, but also too, mastering your energy to me is being confident of your energy, being confident who you are. So if someone comes at me negatively, I'm able to be at peace and master my energy within me on how I'm going to handle it, how I'm going to feel about it without, hurting myself or others. So I truly feel like that's what it is, like being able to remain calm, cool, collect. I love what you said, be a monster and then learn how to control it.
Yeah, that's a
I
beastie quote.
I love that so much. I'm totally going to steal that because I love that. Because you can be a monster and you can control your energy, but also have that. Being a monster means you have that confidence like in yourself to know that you can handle anything that comes your way.
Right.
And
Right.
I love that. I love that because like I said, we are getting hit everywhere with all kinds of things throughout the day. And mastering your energy also means that we're, like you said, we're in control. So if we want to have a good day and we want to remain positive, it's solely up to us, not on anybody else at all. We have to do it and master it within ourselves. So it means that you're not always guaranteed to have the perfect day, but you can make it the best that you can by mastering that energy that you put out. Absolutely.
100%. 100%. Definitely
Yes.
agree with everything you said too.
Yes.
What's your take
Yeah.
on that, Scotty?
Oh, yeah. So I know like before we got on this, I was like, I'm not sure where like I stand or like how like I really don't I haven't looked too much in about like the energy transfer and like all that. But like when she said like once we started talking about it, it kind of hit me and it kind of did. And it's
Yes.
definitely about like you guys both already said, it's kind of like what you put out, it's what you take in. It's the people around you, it's you. So it's just like it's interactions. Like obviously you want to socialize with people so you can get more familiar with interactions, so you can kind of get comfortable in like certain situations. It's being able to control your emotions in like any situation. So like if something dramatic happens, like suddenly, like you need to be able to respond, like you said, calm, cool, collective. Like you need to be able to handle yourself. You need to be able to show.
Oh, Scotty was about to get deep. He was about to hit us with the hammer. I was just about to talk about how he did a great job of that. We talked about it before, like on the spot. TVs went out at the gym, and like he hopped in and mastered the room. All right, cool. He's back.
I had my thing on do not disturb, and I got a phone call. I'm sorry.
I did that
man.
too. Yeah.
I don't understand. I pressed N and accepted it. I don't understand. So basically,
you didn't master your energy, bro.
I did not. I did not master my phone. The phone mastered me. So definitely being able to like and be able to. So I think I left off on like interactions with others and be able to like if someone's being like very aggressive, like how do you handle that situation? If someone's being like too flirtatious, how do you handle that situation? Like it's just like there's so many different things. Like someone's being like overly nice, but you kind of gotta get back to work and you don't want to talk to them for the whole day. Like, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like knowing when to like kind of like maybe like cut someone off or like from a ramble, stuff like that. That's like my hardest thing is like I'm like a listener, so like I'll just keep listening. Like if you don't ever break, I'm just kind of like, all right, I'm kind of like stuck here because I don't want to stop you. So it's being able to kind of like,
man.
Yeah.
You
so
guys, you both are
of
such good listeners. I love that.
Yeah. And then a big one is the like sense different or not, how do I want to put this? Seeing like sense from multiple perspectives. So like I'm not expecting you to know what everyone feels at that time is like literally impossible, but being able to kind of like almost put yourself in someone else's shoes. Like when I'm coaching, like there's 27, 36 people in a room, and I need to make sure that I'm not making sure that every single person is as comfortable as they can be, but like I want to make sure that I'm at least getting to all their needs in some way or shape or form. Like I know maybe one person, like they don't like getting corrected, but like their form is really bad. So you have to like know how to kind of like go about coaching them, or you need someone that like needs extra help, but like they're kind of embarrassed getting all that help like at once. So it's like being able to kind of know how someone's feeling and be able to give off the right energy for them.
Right.
So
Agreed.
that's
Agreed.
like and being able to
Mhm.
kind of control yourself in that manner and be able to
Mhm.
control your own energy, because you can be super excited. Like everyone feeds off that energy. So that's positive energy, but like something's bothering you, you have to also make sure, like if someone, maybe one of the members rub you the wrong way and now you're in like kind of like a bad mood, like you can't let that affect you and put off negative energy,
Right.
because now that
Dude.
positive energy you were just giving off is slowly turning into negative, and that's going to start feeding
Yes.
into the room. So
Don't
being
let them
able to
F
kind of
up your
like control
frequency.
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Good point, man.
Yes.
Such a
That's
good
so
point, dude.
great.
Yeah.
Can I bring up another point? And this is going to be very controversial. Mastering your energy. Do we bring up Will Smith and Chris Rock?
Dude, yes, I was about to say that. I was gonna say,
All
do we
right.
feel?
So,
Yeah,
okay.
shoot that.
So I didn't know what happened. People were talking about it.
Same here.
Okay. I had to go watch the video.
Yep.
And I don't know what behind the scene is going on with Will Smith. I don't know any of that. But I do know that, and I'm going to say this, he did not master his energy.
No.
In my opinion, he did not master his energy. Okay. Now, I do think, because I'm not saying someone was right and someone was wrong in this. From an outsider just watching it, I do think Chris Rock managed his energy.
After getting smacked, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think he
dude.
did. So this is a perfect example by mastering your energy. No matter what someone says to you, no matter how wrong it is, mastering your energy is crucial. Because he did not master his energy, the man won an Oscar for a fabulous performance. He is probably one of the best entertainers, actors, music. Like, what a rap sheet of such an amazing person, family, his children. And because of that 10 seconds of not mastering his energy, no one is looking at all his accomplishments right now anymore. Like, no one cares he won an Oscar. No one even is talking about that he won. And it's because of that not mastering his energy for that short amount of time, everything just went poof away.
Big point. Big point. For real. And that, I think that like it all links back in, because like if you look at everything he's achieved and accomplished, you could tell he's got big energy. You could tell and
Oh my
you know, like,
gosh, totally.
yeah, you could tell the energy is there. And then you could tell for that split second, like that's when it was not controlled. But like flipping it over to Chris Rock, because that was the biggest thing I noticed too. Like I was like, okay, boom, 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 saw the smack happen, and then like to like see like, okay, dang, like he didn't flip out, he didn't swing back, he smiled and joked about it, and I don't care what anyone says. I knew that took a lot. I personally feel like that took a whole lot of restraint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He did a lot of praying in so many seconds that something had come over him to help him manage his energy in that moment, because it could have been
Could have got nasty.
worse. It could have been really bad for both of them. But no one is talking about Chris Rock right now. Like, everyone is so fixated on the action of Will Smith. Now it has now trickled into his family, his relationship. Both his children are very good in their business, fashion, music, like, changing the world, like being, just advocates for change and for, a loving and mental health. And there are so many things they're doing in that family. And Will Smith had the opportunity to rise up and be an example. And he didn't. He didn't. I mean, there's no way around it, right or wrong. I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I'm not going that route, but he did not, like, the ultimate test. He failed. He failed the ultimate test of managing your energy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So,
I second that. I second that for real.
yeah.
Spicy concept.
Right. There we go.
Controversial.
Yeah. No,
You
no,
know,
it is. It is.
controversial.
It is.
But I'm
Like,
not saying anything was right or wrong. I'm not saying Chris
Yeah.
Rock was right. I'm not saying Chris Rock was wrong.
Yeah.
I am
both-
saying
They're both wrong, I feel like, in a way, because Chris Rock is a friend of Will Smith for however many years. So I think it was like more of a sensitive issue for him.
Mhm.
I'm not defending Will Smith, but like I think at both it was a bad taste for both of them. Like him
Right.
knowing them on a personal level, and like he had to have known her condition, like for being like friends. Like she literally just had an interview and saying how hard it was for her.
Right.
But like you
Right.
should
And I
never
love
put
her
your
red
hands,
table talk. Yeah.
yeah, and you should never put your hands on another person regardless. But like there's also been like a lot, like I don't know, I feel like something like him like looking at her and seeing how he affected her so much and how they've had such a problem recently with their relationship, and everyone just like talking so much stuff from the outside. I think it got overwhelmed. The energy from outside just really overwhelmed him right there and there.
For sure.
And I think it definitely is an example that, guys, don't hold celebrities to this non-human, like, of
They're human.
They're human, and their emotions. Celebrities have emotions that can go the wrong, that can take them one way
They're
or
not
the
robots.
next too. They're not robots. They're human. So it is an example of that, and people will say this all the time. Celebrities are not exempt from having feelings, are not exempt from doing things that are wrong. Like, so this was an example of that as well. And we could get off on so many different angles of this, but I just wanted to relate that to the energy.
What was wild though is how he like held his energy in until we got to Chris and then let it loose and then walked back. Like most guys, like I feel like most people, like, I don't know, in any other situation, you would have just like ran at him.
Or it'd have been
like,
rowdy on the way up there,
and like people probably would have like helped him, like probably saved, like Chris Rock would have probably ran or like dodged it. But the way he just like walked up and then did it, like that was kind of wild. That was Mike Lowry from Bad Boys, not Will Smith.
Yeah, he went Mike Lowry on him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was saying, I'm offended because I'm offended that Will Smith didn't think that Jada and G.I. Jane 2 would be badass.
I think he did at first because he laughed.
Yeah, right. And then he looked over and was like, uh-oh.
Like, now I want to put out there, like, Jada, I want to see you in G.I. Jane 2. Like, she's amazing. She's muscular. She's a strong woman. Like, my gosh, she would be the best character, the best actress for that role. I'm just putting it out there.
Got a point.
And she's and Willow shaved her head. I think Graham shaved her head also in doing this with Jada. And they are all so beautiful and wonderful women and strong. And I just think that they're so gorgeous. And Jada on her Red Table Talk is very open, and she's very like, she's very open-minded, and she hears both sides of the story. And I really admire that about her. But I don't know. That's all I got on that.
That's a deep concept. Yeah. You got anything else on that, Scotty?
Just don't put your hands on anybody unless you get self-defense.
Don't be. That's a whole verb now. Don't be Will Smithing them out there. Don't be just Will Smithing people. You know what I mean?
Protect your lady, protect your man.
Don't be petty.
But
right.
There's like steps that lead up to that. And your goal is not to get to that step.
Yeah.
Right.
He moonwalked right past those steps. That actually leads to the next question. So it's perfect you brought that up, Ange. What do you believe it looks like when someone is mastered by their energy versus like being? Let me rephrase that. What does it look like when someone is mastered by their energy versus mastering their energy. And I mean, I think we got so many different like
Will Smith,
examples of
Chris
that.
Rock.
That part right there. That was the primer. That was the first one. First example of that. I I'll put it like this. I know someone. I won't talk about their relationship with me, but I know someone, and I mentioned them earlier, and I believe that they could be a true beast because of like this person literally can be out at the club all night, leave the club at 2 a.m., go stand a 12-hour watch at 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. You know what I mean? Type of thing, like and just do their thing. But like I believe that their energy isn't mastered in so many other ways. Like I think like one form of that I've seen with just like energy not being mastered is if like when you're all over the place, not necessarily with like time management or this and that, but you're all over the place with like how you feel emotionally, or you're all over the place with like how you perform throughout the day. Like you kind of like you bounce around. That's the good thing, is the energy is there. You just have not utilized it yet. And I think one thing too is when you see someone who just like in that moment when they lose it, no matter what that moment may be, when someone truly just loses their ish. I've been there in a situation where I've like just lost my ish. You know what I mean? And in that situation, without going into detail, something that I felt was complete like loss of control. It felt like there was no control of, especially not of myself, or my energy. But I feel like when you see someone who is being mastered by their energy, like there's no control in a sense, in one form or another. Like they may not be like crazy, but the way they live may be very chaotic. Or you could look at their home, or in the way like in the details of their home, how things could be scattered, or there's certain things, like there's certain small details in how people operate, how you can see like, and you actually haven't mastered that energy yet. You know what I mean? Real quick. So around 2020, like I said, this is when I got like enlightened on energy and this and that. And the first form I learned about this was sexual energy, masculine, feminine energy, things of that nature. And there's a guy, I don't know if you guys have heard of him. His name's Elliot Hulse, and he's talking about like he's talking about males and like pretty much like ejaculation. Not to go into details, but he was talking about that as a form of energy, and how like if you like are like if you sleep around a lot, or you don't focus or practice like some type of retention with that, how like you are just giving your energy off all in these different directions, and how a lot of times like that our sexual energy is actually our creative energy. I read a lot about masculine energy, and I'm learning about feminine energy. I'm not a specialist at any at any standard, or at any. I'm not gonna say I'm a specialist, or but I'll say that I feel like I know a little something about that. And the biggest thing I think about for men too is that like a big part of like masculine that energy, mastering energy, is mastering your sexual energy. How you look at women, how you see, how what kind of self-control you have in that area. You know what I mean? And just doing different evaluations, noticing that like when you take away, I don't know, certain energy, you put it into one thing, notice that like you have that energy stored up and you feel like doing something else. You know what I mean? You feel like putting energy towards something else. A more I'd say more mild way to use this would be or to explain this would be decisions. I
Mhm.
wear the same most of the time. I wear the same shoes every day, or already have it picked out what I'm gonna wear. With clothes, it's usually repetitive because it's the work week type of thing. It's usually repetitive. I don't like to waste any energy or time on certain decisions. Like that's something I don't want to waste on any energy thinking about when I get dressed, about what I put on in the morning. And when I stopped thinking about that, that's when I noticed I started creating more exercise programs. I became creative in other ways. I had energy to put somewhere else. Because a lot of times like we could be doing a lot of stuff, or like you feel like, okay, I'm being productive, but literally you're just shooting out energy and it's not really getting you anywhere. And
Mhm.
refocusing and mashing that energy into what matters most can actually take you really far. Bit of a ramble is, again, this is a big topic for me. So I'm just spilling out my thoughts on every question.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and give me what you got, Ange.
I love that because that's so true. You guys know that energy right now is not my physical energy. It's very
Oh yeah,
hard
you
for me
doing?
right now. Okay, we're about 3 weeks out from show number one. So to me, when we talk about mastering your energy versus letting it master you, energy to me is like mood, okay, or motivation. It's a mood, okay? So we can change our energy and change our motivation. So motivation comes and goes, just like energy comes and goes. But again, we can master that by changing our thought process, listening to a podcast, like you just said, you take your energy from something and you put it to something else. That is huge for me right now.
It's
Huge for me
currency.
right now. So me getting all my food laid out for tomorrow allows me to have the energy to sit and read my book. Me making sure that my clients all have their plans when I do my office work is allowing me in the morning to do my yoga and my stretching. So I'm really just, it's just an energy exchange, and mastered by their energy versus mastering, being a master of it. I mean, like you just said, like you have certain things in your life together if you are a master of your energy. Like I want this energy and I want to push my energy to grow my business. Like you can see that in someone's business. If they're mastering their energy, you can see that in their business, or you can, like you said, you can see that in their home. Um, because here's the thing, if you're being ran by your energy, guys, most of the time it's negative. Like I keep going back to that, but that's kind of how like the world is wired. Like, and we can go on social media, we can start playing the comparing game, okay, which gives negative energy. We can start saying, oh, I'm less than, this person's doing this on social
Mm-hmm.
media. Then you have that negative energy. If you don't have control of that, you're going to let that energy run you just from what you saw on social media. Like you can have a conversation with someone who's having a really bad day that runs the negative side. And if you let their energy master you and you haven't mastered your energy, you're probably going to have a crummy day.
And that's a
So
fight right there. It's a
so
battle.
that's my, yeah, so that's my take on it, as simple as it is. Like decide what your clarity of your energy is, and we're going to talk about that at the end, like looking at the questions, but figure out your clarity about what energy you want to give out and stick to that. Like it's just like dedication and consistency of, on your nutrition plan and your workouts. You still have to rep working on your energy like you do your muscles, because it's not something that is, we're not born with it. And I tell Reese this all the time. I was like, people aren't born with positive energy. There are those special creatures that were like, oh my gosh, they're
Right.
amazing.
Just
But
fell from the
most of
sky.
us, right. Most of us are a product of our environment, whether it's good, bad. We had this friend in high school that was always negative. Like something's going to affect us along the way. So you have to rep that energy muscle just like you do your exercises.
Believe that.
Absolutely.
Believe that.
Right.
Nipsey Hussle said something similar, and he was talking about how like the same amount of energy. He's like, it's much. He said a lot of people find that it's a lot easier to put energy into the negative, to put faith into the negative, or bad things happening. And he was like, if only you could break past that paralysis of just doing the same thing but on the positive side.
I
Same
love
thing but on
that.
the positive side. Same thing. He was like, it's
Yes.
just as possible.
Yes.
Hmm.
So you're taking your work. You know you have to work. Here it is. Here is your work. It's no more work to go to the positive side than is the negative side. But yet people always go to the negative side. Like just put your work into that positive side, just like you just said. Put your work there. Like what, and again, we will get to my ultimate Deion Sanders video. What is the purpose of your practice? I just
Mm.
posted it on my stories. It is a video I watch continuously,
Deion
continuously.
Sanders.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Gotta check your story out.
we will get to that at the end.
Cool. All right, Scotty, what you got, man?
Being mastered by your energy to me is just you're stressed essentially. Like you're just like you might not like think you're stressed, but you most likely are because you're in too many places at once.
Mhm.
You are either being affected negatively, you're giving out negative, you're thinking about too many things, you're not sleeping enough, you're not eating the right way, you're not drinking enough water. Like all these things are going to end up stressing you out, which is basically just going to kind of just make it's just too much on your mind. And having too much on your mind is where you start, like we've been saying, you put your energy in the wrong spots. And like you're thinking about things that you shouldn't have to think about because now you're not focusing on the things that you should be.
Yes.
You're not being productive. You're not getting the things you need to get done.
You get
putting
sloppy.
them off. You get sloppy, and so you're not growing. And what do we say? If you're not growing, you're dying. Like you're going the wrong way. You know what I mean? So basically,
Scotty,
like,
yeah, I love real quick to interrupt you. I love how you put the physical things that you're doing, how it affects your energy, your internal energy. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
you brought up water.
And this has happened so many times to me. Like I've been mastered by my energy. I'm probably every year I get mastered by my energy at some point. And I feel like most of us do, but it's how you bounce back from it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like after 75 hard, I could definitely tell you, we talked about this on the one podcast, is like sometimes I hit my goal and then I kind of fall off a little bit. And I know I'd give myself around April 1st to kind of bounce back to getting into things. And I could definitely tell like this like week and a half, almost 2 weeks has been like kind of a struggle, like with like some motivation and having the energy to do certain things. Like, and it's tough too sometimes when you're going into work and people just know that I am a ball of energy, and then make sure I have to live up to that all the time as well. I had someone come up to me the other day and like they were like, oh, like blah blah blah. Like I just want to see you mad. I'm like, why would you want to see me mad? And they're like, you're just always happy. You literally always have a smile on your face. Like I've never seen you mad. I'm like, well, you don't want to see me mad. No one wants to see me mad.
Imagine that on the energy you're applying to that happiness to the madness. Same. Imagine,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, like you said, you can like if you could shift either way. Like I'm shifting everything to positive, especially at work. I'm being real though, so like there's definitely like it's realness. Like I'm not like just like faking it. Like there might be times where like there's been like a day where I'm struggling and stuff like that, but like me giving off the positive energy is helping me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
if I was just being negative all the time and like writing negative posts and like complaining about stuff all the time, like that would just put me in a spiral of bad energy. So even if you have to mask your feelings, mask them. Like if you're masking it with positive energy, like that positive energy is gonna like relinquish you. It's gonna help you. You know what I mean? Like don't keep putting yourself in that negative. Positive vibes only.
100%, dude. I felt all of that, man. I can't even imagine you on the other side of that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I know you had your bad days and this and that, but like you say, even on a bad day though, that energy is still mastered. Even if it's barely mastered, the problem is if you lose that grip. Even if you barely master and you still got the grip, there's power in that. The power is when you lose that grip and you let the beast go wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I get pretty gnarly road rage. Like I get really mad at certain things. Like, and I've been like trying to channel. Like I'm like someone like flies past me, cuts me off, gets the other lane, and I'll be like, I'll like sometimes like I used to like stop. I'm like, really? Like you got really far? Like I'm like, but like I'm like, how is that like? Why am I giving off that energy?
Peace and patience. Yeah,
that's
exactly. What I say.
So,
peace and patience.
So like sometimes I'll like explode real quick. I'm like, Scott, why? Like I'll talk to myself in the car. I'm like, why?
Right.
Like why does that bother you? Like it's not affecting you in any way. Like
wait,
just,
you
like,
don't
turn the radio up.
You don't call yourself Scotty the Body when you talk to yourself.
Hey body.
You don't do
hey,
you not?
I don't want to see Scotty mad in his truck. I was next to him in traffic, I think one time, and you drive very calmly. I see why now. Maybe it was just that day.
It might have been that day. Who knows? If I got somewhere to be, I'm driving.
Good stuff. All right. Hey, y'all got good points. And that's why I felt like when I wrote these questions down, these were things that came to mind and stuff that even I was like, you know what? I don't even know if I have the best answers for, but I know that like once we start talking about it, Scotty and Ange are gonna they're gonna bring what we need. Okay. So next question, man. And I think, as fitness professionals, we all deal with this. It's part of our job to give energy. You know what I mean? In a sense. Next question is, how do you identify if someone is draining from or adding to your energy? I will answer that question with, I mean, man, I'm a vibes guy. I'm a vibes person. And a lot of times I could sense it. You know what I mean? And I usually am right. And I mess up when I second guess it. Sometimes you do gotta question it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you could just be sour. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm a vibes guy. And I could kind of tell, like, okay, like if someone is if they're around me and I'm being depleted. And then, there's times like today or every time we get on and, from this podcast, even though we're not together, like, I'm charging up right now talking to y'all. You know what I mean? Like, we charging up right now. Like I'm on the charger and like I'm plugged in type of thing.
Mhm.
Whereas like, other times people are plugged into you and they're taken away from you. And now let's say in group fitness and for our clients and the members that we train, like we're there for that. And I believe that we delegate a certain level of a certain amount of energy, toward that. You know what I mean? Like that's, that we're there for that. But then like, you could be in your personal life, what I mean, type of thing, and someone comes around, a family member that you're not too fond of, or someone that like from around the way, and they come around, and then you could just feel the suction, whether it's them in a funk or them seeing you up, and some people unconsciously can kind of be like at that energy drain and in that energy draining mode. They could be in it unconsciously and not even know it. And I feel like for me, my biggest determining factor is how I feel. It's looking at their outlook. Like you can ask someone a couple of questions or be talking to someone, and usually if they're the way they answer or their response is consistent and it's like just consistently negative or cynical, you could usually tell like, okay, like, hey man, like this person may be vibrating at a low frequency, and it's not necessarily cut them off. It is a concept of know when to cut the supply of energy, for sure. Know when to actually cut it off. But you could tell. And then, like I said, you could tell when people are, you're around people and they're charging you up, y'all are vibrating and the frequency is just like, it's just bouncing off each other. Cause even though y'all are charging me up, giving me energy, I feel like it's mutual, you know what I mean? It's just bouncing back and it's circulating through, you know what I mean? And, ideally those are the kind of circles you want to be in all the time. You want to keep that going. Like even with my daughter, my daughter Haven, she is a ball of energy. And I'll give y'all a quick backstory or quick little transparency moment. So me and my wife had separated for a little bit back in 2018, like October, and then let's say I think around June or July, her and Haven came out to LA to visit, right? And keep in mind, I hadn't seen Haven in like 9 months. And she hugged me, and I couldn't do anything but start crying. But she hugged me, and like just who she is and her spirit, like it shows in how she is just on a day-to-day basis. But her spirit, I could feel the energy, and I got charged up from that. And I could even tell, like, from like the 9 months away from her, like how depleted I was, you know what I mean? And just like how, like, okay, who have I been around? Like, what have I been doing? How have I been spending my time? And just like how like she charged me up just from who she was, and that was a charge up just from that hug and just from being around her type of thing. And I mean, shortly after, like 3 weeks later, I ended up leaving California and moving out to Seattle because they moved up there, and we reconciled things, and the rest is history. And here we are today with Harlow here. But you know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's question 3 is a big one for me because like that's a beautiful thing that we can do for each other as people and as spiritual beings. It's like we could provide that energy. We could bounce it back. We could ricochet it off each other. And the unfortunate part is that also we could drain each other's energy as well. That's my take on that. What you got, Ange?
You got a lot of people watching this right now, shaking their heads, talking to you, saying, yes.
Man, dude, I just want to give them the
Yes.
real, for real.
Gosh, I'm gonna replay that over and listen to that because that's so powerful. And I can't even say anything to top that. So what I'm gonna do is talk about 2 things. The person who is always, again, I always go back to social media. The person who is always complaining about their life on social media, and people that are consumed with social media and read that every day, even though you are just reading that on social media, that is taking away your peace. That is affecting your energy. So we talked a little bit about this on our social media podcast about being very selective who you read, who you follow, who you connect to on social media. And then adding to your energy, I will tell my story about the Girl Squad and when I saw them this weekend,
Hey, I'm even
and
catching
my
vibes from that.
and my pep talk from Sonny. Guys, you know, being 3 weeks out from stage, yes, is something that I'm so blessed that I love that I get to do. But again, you have to master your energy when you're trying to reach any type of big goal, whether it be physical, business, whatever that it is. You still have to master your energy. And the pep talk that I got from Sonny, and just getting her energy and getting all their energy, and them just lifting me up, I'm telling you, it set me in a different place. Like, it just really is. And then we'll talk about this, but like, my intention yesterday was energy. Like, that is how I journaled and started my day. Was today, my intention is energy. So find your squad. Like, we are the combined average of the top 5 people that you hang out with all the time. And energy level, personality, or just positivity, like that all wraps in. So if you're around 5 people that are super negative, you most likely are going to be. If
You're
you're
gonna be the
around
sixth
5
one.
people that, you're going to be the 6th one. If you are around people that lift you up, you're going to have a totally different life. So be careful who you surround yourself with.
Shout out to the Girl Squad, man. Like, cause I mean, we've all 3 of us have experienced just what it's like to absorb that energy. I think all 3 of us have all had a pep talk from Sonny. I've had several, man, and I always tell her she's like the auntie that I never had, type of thing. Like, I love all my aunts that I do have. Shout out to them, but like, she is definitely like she's just like that aunt. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, and
Right.
that's just how she kind of comes off. You know what I mean?
And Scotty gets to see them on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
I always
That's
get their
why you're
energy.
like, that's why you're crushing your goals, because you're top, like, you're around them and you guys are all feeding off of each other, and you're helping them reach their goals, and they're helping you reach your goals. And
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. We'll just see you when we can. No,
Madge
what's
is in,
happening is Scotty sees them and then we see Scotty. So it's like an
Yep.
energy
Bring that.
telephone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Transferring it. Yep.
Yes.
I love Sign's energy, but Madge, like, something about Madge's energy is just like, it's just like another level.
Madge is
And
dope.
I can't even describe Madge's energy. Like,
She's
it's
dope.
just,
She's hilarious.
yeah.
You
Let me
know,
shut up. Let me
yeah.
shut up.
Like, you always feel like with Madge, like, and guys, we're gonna have them on the podcast, so you'll get to meet them. But
Y'all get to experience them.
like, their energies, they complement each other so well. But Madge, you just know that everything's gonna be okay when you're with Madge. Like, you're just like, whatever, it's all gonna
Yeah.
be okay. Like, it is
Yes.
all good. No matter what happens, it's all good.
Yo,
Like, that's what I get from her.
I got a quick thing I got to throw in there, Scotty, and I'm going to shut up and let you have it, man. But I got to throw this on there with Madge. I'm so glad you said that, Angie. Okay, Maryland, 5 a.m. class. I wake up from the train outside my apartment building because my alarm didn't go off. I wake up, it's like 4:45. I wake up, I'm shaking because I have this thing with being late. I'm like shaking, right? And I leave out the house. I'm speeding down 83 or whatever to get to F45. And I go into Mind Body. I'm like, shoot, man, who can I call? I can't call Dan right now. He's asleep. So I called Madge. I was like, who out of everyone who signed up for Clamp, who can I call? I called Madge, and like, I am rattled with anxiety. And she's like, oh, it's cool, baby. Don't worry. I'll let him know. Like, she was like, that's just life, and laughed and hung up the phone. And like, I got there maybe like at like 5:06 type of thing. It was her, it was Ronnie there, but like, she's got that spirit that's just going to be okay. And it was a great day.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Done. I'm done.
That's great. They're all great.
Man.
All right. So I'll hit question number 3 real quick. How can you tell someone's draining your energy or adding to it? honestly, when I'm at the studio, I feel like I'm always getting energy added to me. Just being able to help people and seeing smiles on people's faces, seeing like that aha moment, like stuff like that. That's always adding energy. When I come home and like seeing Megan, especially when I haven't seen her in like maybe a couple of days, or like just giving her a kiss, like that, just like that, like I know she's like, she usually always has like a rough day at work. It's just like always something going on. But she's really been crushing it. And just like being able to like sit down and talk or eat with her and stuff like that, like that's just always great for me. Jax, every time I come home, no matter what, he wagging his tail, like got a toy like right there, like he just like everyone takes, like I think everyone, no matter how much you love your dog, everyone takes dogs for granted because they literally
Yeah.
give you every ounce of their energy, like every
That's
ounce.
the truth.
Like your pets give you everything. Maybe not the cats. Cats are, depends on the day for them.
You're gonna be making
But
cat people mad, Scotty.
Right.
yeah, well, yeah, but they know. Like sometimes the cats are all over you.
They
Sometimes the
know.
cats are just like chilling. They know.
Cats are kind of
literally,
like, whatever. Do you,
like, I
boo?
don't think you can see
Yeah.
them, but like I got Jackson Gohan right there, just like passed out, just waiting for me. So they're waiting for my energy.
Yep.
So like there's definitely like certain people in your lives that just like we're always going to add, and then there's people that are draining, and it's really up to you about how much you let them drain. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you might not always know if someone is draining. Like one way you could tell is like if they're not contributing anything, like if they're not like striking up a conversation, if they're not like offering to put anything in, if they're just expecting and just like asking and not never like giving. You know what I mean? Like that's one way you could tell that someone's kind of draining you. And like Ange said, like negativity. Like if you're being negative all the time, if you're reading something negative, if you're just posting negative stuff all the time, I'm gonna unfollow you or I'm gonna mute you. I'm just like, I can't be looking at that 24/7. That's why like I don't go on Twitter that much. So I feel like Twitter and Facebook are just like for people to vent. And like I understand you gotta vent, do what you gotta do. But like when you make it a consistent, if you're venting every day or even every hour, like no one wants to read that. Like, yeah, people are gonna give you sympathy, but like they're gonna get tired of it. And you're putting them in a bad mood now. So it's like
Yep.
some shit you just gotta keep to yourself or just vent to an actual person and then make sure you give back to that person.
An actual person.
You know what I mean? Like talk to someone, like
Yeah.
have like an actual like a conversation with a human being. So you can like get a response from someone and they can either tell you like you're fucking crazy or like, hey, why don't you try doing this instead? Or like get some advice. You know what I mean? People are just gonna keep scrolling past your shit. Like they don't care. Like it gets to a point they don't care. When it's like a boy who cried wolf. Like it's gonna be the same shit all the time. Like, oh, here we go. Like so and so just posted this like how they're feeling today. Like skip. Like you're just gonna become obsolete in so many people's lives.
Exactly.
And then someone posted this yesterday. One of my friends I do workouts with, Amanda, and I'm just gonna read it off her post. I pulled it up. She said, 100% something I've learned over the years. In the past, I've used the word friend too loosely. Not anymore. If you're in my circle, you're a friend and I would do anything for you. If you're not my circle, you're just an acquaintance. And the thing she put underneath this says, the problem isn't your friends not showing up for you. The real issue is you keep calling them your friends. So this is definitely, I'm not sure if it's a hit at somebody or not. But this is like, it's one of those things like you gotta have like your circle, and your circle can't be a huge circle. You can't be like yes and no. You know what I mean? Like there has to be like a line somewhere between the people that you are giving your energy to that are also giving it back. Mm-hmm. Because if you're only giving your energy away and away and away, like what are they doing for you? Like a friendship goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I haven't heard from you in a while. Yeah. Like I haven't heard from you either. Like phone does work both ways, right? Like it's like kind of like that. So it's like you gotta have your circle, and then you have the people outside the circle, and then you got like the people you don't fuck with at all. You know?
Layers.
There's layers to it. There's levels to this shit.
Right,
Sorry,
man.
I'm cursing a lot. My bad. Sorry, everyone. Underage.
Scotty
Cat.
Scotty slept in. He slept in.
He's full of energy.
I took a nap yesterday. That was wild. I accidentally took a nap, and Megan always says that's how all my
Ooh.
naps work. And when I accidentally take a nap, that's when like I'm tired.
Wow.
Because like I don't take naps at all. I
Right.
literally had my Carhartt on and my shoes were on. I was like petting Jacks and I rolled over. I just like knocked out for an hour and a half. And then I went into
and you're
class
done
that day.
75 hard.
I know. I know, right? I know. So yeah, the sleeping has been tough with work, but that's why I slept in today.
That's good, man.
Good for you.
You building it back up.
Charging your energy.
Charge my energy with you guys. You guys are
Charge
adding
it up, man. Yeah. No, I
Surround
look forward
yourself
to
with
this
people that
every
are going
week.
to add energy. Get rid of the people that are going to drain it.
Right.
That's it.
Because
Way to control
Bottom
it.
line, period. Boom.
done.
Yeah.
We can end right there.
Mic drop.
Hey, so for this I had two more questions, but I'm gonna merge them for time purposes. The next question was, why is energy important? And then the question after that was, what are some methods to mastering or managing your energy? I think we could mesh that all into one question, and we could just leave it as one topic. So I would say, I mean, I feel like we gave so many reasons why energy is so important, but I think no matter how you look at it or whether you look at it or not, it does determine, how the direction of your life. It determines your day. It determines you. I mean, and it's something that I feel like you should pay attention to. Like your energy is vital. And if you have not yet, like, I'm still working on that relationship, but if you've not like yet even like, began to like build or kind of like like cultivate that relationship with yourself and your energy, I mean, you should definitely start small, but like it's vital. You know what I mean? It's vital because like it goes beyond just like how you feel physically, on the energy wise, but we've all been mentally drained. We've all, had it where like we have not had it like, like physically I'm there, but like mentally I could be gone. You know what I mean? Like, so energy it's vital, you know what I mean? And you definitely want to have some sense of a relationship with it so that you can control it. Some methods to mastering and managing your energy. I think one of the biggest ones is time for self, like spending some time with yourself. You know what I mean? Meditation, you know what I mean? Getting to know this, you know what I mean? Evaluating your circle, evaluating your mood. You know what I mean? If you got to keep a journal and write down, hey, I feel like this when such and such is around, or I feel like this when I'm doing this, you know what I mean? Or I just did that. How did that make me feel? Maybe I'm not gonna do that no more. Like that left me feeling empty. And like I could have actually spent my time and my energy better elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so I think the biggest thing with like to manage and master is just like with everything else is to assess. You know what I mean? To assess and to really analyze, okay, like what do I do? How do I use this? Overall overview, assess, meditate so that you could hear from within, you know what I mean? Depending on where you are spiritually or, religious wise, pray, you know what I mean? Teach his own with that, you know what I mean? I definitely pray. Take that quiet time. Like sometimes like I'm either gonna stay up later or get up earlier so that I can have that time to like become one with my energy. You know what I mean? And I think, the biggest method of that is to like I said, get to know this. Like when you get up in the morning or when you have that time throughout the day, like check in with you. You know what I mean? Make sure you like check in with you and then, you evaluate and go from there. You know what I mean? Check in with you, assess the people around you, like y'all just said. You know what I mean? Because energy is vital. It's important. Whether you are aware of it or not, it definitely has a big role in your life. And I think, the more you acknowledge it, the better it could be. The more you could let it work for you, you know what I mean? And use it to not only like, benefit yourself, but to elevate the world. You know what I mean?
Word.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's what I got. That's what I got. What you got, Angie? Lay it on us.
Well, yeah. So energy is important because it's going to determine how you accomplish your goals. So bottom line, you need good energy to accomplish your goals, no matter what it has to do with, whether it's physical and you have to bring that good energy into the gym, whether it's business and you need to bring that good energy into a business meeting. Maybe you're asking somebody to invest, like whatever that it may be. Maybe it's a relationship, like you have to bring that good energy because in my opinion, nothing's going to move forward if the energy is always negative. Okay.
Solid.
Because you're not going to work as hard. You're not going to, again, energy is a mood, just like motivation. So if you're not bringing that, you know, chances are you might not have a really good workout in the gym. You know, you might not have a really good positive business meeting. Like they can tell that confidence in your energy. You know, like when you're on stage, like you got to bring that energy. You've got to bring that confidence in your energy, or you might get overlooked. You could have the best physique, but if you're not bringing that confidence to stage and that energy, you might not get looked at. They might look at the girl who has a lesser physique than you, but's bringing the confidence, bringing that energy. So that is huge. Methods to master your energy. I'm glad that you said this because I start with 3 books. Okay. So the 3 things that I start with, my stack right next to my coffee, is I start with my journal for Lent. So it's a book that has different readings and scriptures for every day of Lent. So I start by reading that. And that's something that Reese brought home from school that I love. I start with my book, The Year of Positive Thinking, and every day has something to do with some kind of topic. And then I journal. So if you go to my stories, which will probably be gone by the time this podcast is up, but there is a video with well, my brain just went, but there's a video that I love that is on my story that I watch. Deion Sanders, there it is. Every time, every day, I love it. And it's what is the purpose for your practice? So my journal entry is what is the purpose for your practice? The purpose for my practice today is good energy. The purpose for my practice today is being grateful, like whatever it is. So I start my day with what is the purpose for your practice. Watch the video. You can probably Google it. It's amazing. So he talks about today, like people practice, you know, speed. They practice, you know, different things. They know the sidelines. They practice this. But really, are you really practicing to be great? Like the purpose of your practice should be to be great. So that's how I start my journal entry every day now, the purpose of my practice. And it gives me something to focus on. And ironically, yesterday's was energy, because you guys know
Nice.
physical energy right now is not my friend. We've talked about this, but just by journaling that, I've had an awesome workout yesterday, an awesome workout today. My food is exactly the same, but my energy level is rising. Isn't that interesting? How I
Mhm.
put
Right.
that in my head, and now my energy level is rising the past 2 days.
Charged up.
Interesting. Interesting. The power of the mind.
For sure, for sure. It all starts
Yeah.
there. All starts there in the mind, in the spirit.
Yep.
That's where it is. That's why you can't
Yeah.
neglect it.
Yeah. So that's how I master my energy, because really that first 20 minutes of your day really sets the tone. I don't get on social media. I do not get on Facebook. I do not get on Instagram. Like you need to have that time. I don't check emails, nothing. You have to have that time. That first 20 minutes of the time that you're awake sets your tone of your day and your energy level, in my opinion. So I have my stack of my 3 books, and that's what I do. Yep.
Oh,
Good
yeah, I like
stuff.
that.
That's it.
I like that. Yeah, I wrote
Yeah.
that. I
Well,
wrote that down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Uh-oh.
What
Baby's
is the
pissed
purpose
off
of your
upstairs.
practice? Is definitely
And
definitely
every
something
day
I'm
is your
gonna start doing
practice. Yeah. And
Mhm.
every day is your practice. Yeah. Every day is your
every
practice.
day.
What's your purpose?
Daily. Make every day count. Daily
Yeah.
deposits, man. Daily
Yep.
deposits.
No, like that, especially because we talked about like habits and stuff like that in past podcasts, and set yourself up for success. That's basically what it comes down to. That's like it's important because that's what's going to come from it is success. It's you're going to accomplish or at least get closer to accomplishing your goals, becoming 1% better. This is all coming full circle from our past episodes. Like Prince was saying, like assess the situation. Like know, like you have to experience things for you to know how to give off the right energy or to take in the right energy. You know what I mean? Like, so that brings me to what I think is very important is you need to surround yourself with people. You have to communicate with people, like live people. Like
Live
Zoom,
people.
Zoom is one way, but like if you can actually talk to a living person face to face, like that is going to help you. Like right here, look at me. So it's like that interaction with humans, like it's just like that's how you're going to understand. That's how you're going to see different perspectives. That's how you're just going to grow. You're going to feel the energy. You're going to be, and then when you put off energy, you see how people react to it, and then that's how you're going to learn where to put your energy. Like there's so many people that like I don't understand like how they've gone through life or like what they do, because like sometimes people put off like the most wild energy, like sometimes like like in a negative way. Like they're just, I guess it might not work for everybody, like, but people are just so oblivious sometimes to like what they're giving off. And it's just like, and then people have to like take a step back, like, whoa, like, are we good? But like they don't mean anything from it. It's just like that's what the energy just seems like.
Right.
Your energy might not always read what you're actually giving. So you need to be able to kind of understand from other people where like how they react to it.
Here's a perfect example. Why do you think there's one thing as an athlete that you never want to forget to put in your bag?
One thing.
One thing you never, whether you're going to the gym, whether you're getting on the bus, whether you're backstage, whether you're in the locker room, what is one thing you never want to forget?
Ooh.
Your headphones.
Okay.
I was gonna say headphones. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I wasn't sure. And I was like, hold on.
Why do you
extra
think
pair of underwear?
Right. Why do you think
yeah.
every athlete, why do you think, I don't want to say every, the majority of athletes have headphones in to block out the noise? Because we've all been at an event. Like I remember doing triathlons and coming into the pit area, the transition area to get my bike, and the person next to me is freaking out over something silly. And just that moment you're getting ready to go put your bike in or whatever and go run 4+ miles, and they just zapped you because they're freaking about something. Or that's why you see athletes have their headphones in, because what are they doing? They're mastering their energy. They are mastering their energy and they're protecting it. I tell you guys, I will not, when I am backstage, I stay laser focused on my coach. I stay laser focused on my coach, on my headphones, on my coach. I don't want to hear, look, see other competitors, because their energy, I'm vibing. Like I want to vibe me. I want to get my energy. Never. Because those headphones, it's like a blockade, it's a barrier. And that is staying here. It's clogging your ears. So it's keeping all the energy inside and you're clogging your ears up, and it's all staying and growing and manifesting, and you're feeling good and you are vibing and you are just in your zone, and no one can take that away from you.
Unless your headphones fall out.
Yeah, right. Because mastering your energy is the difference between you possibly winning that game.
100%. It's vital. It's vital, to say the least. It is vital. You can't play around with it. Like for real. Once you learn what it is, like that's unlocking a new level of life. Like you literally have just like upgraded. You've just like, reached a new level. You know what I mean? Some people never master it.
I love that. Upgraded. I love it.
For real.
For real. Yes.
Sweet. Well, hey, I felt like this was a very, very it was a very, very close to home topic for me, but I think like it's important for everyone. I'm glad that y'all had some great answers for these questions, because I feel like I just grew from this podcast and the things that we talked about today. Like mastering my energy is always something I practice every day, and I think that y'all just gave me a couple more things that I can throw in my toolbox. So thanks, Ange. Thanks, Scotty. Appreciate y'all.
Same to you guys for me. Thank you. I wrote notes, and you actually gave me an idea for another podcast.
Hey, stay tuned then, y'all. Stay tuned. Okay. Cool. What's that? What's that music hitting like today? I'm gonna go last. What you listening to, Angie?
Oh, you're gonna get last. Okay. All right. 1993. Diggable Planets, Rebirth of Slick. It is slowing down my lifts. It
Yes.
is, I'm just, I mean, literally, I'm like this today in the gym. Like, I'm just like, it just slows me down and it's really making me focus. That song has been played every day of my lifting, every day of
Ooh,
my
that's a good
lifting.
song. That's a
It is
good
a
song.
good one.
That's a
And
great
people
song.
forget about it. People forget about
What's
it,
the
but
name of
it's
it?
so good. Diggable Planets, Rebirth of Slick. Yes.
Diggable.
And by the way, I want to thank both of you. Guys, if you haven't downloaded Scotty and Prince's music picks from last week, I have listened to both of those songs on repeat.
Hey.
Like, I'm literally doing booty bands and that song comes on and I'm like, what? And then I'm on the stepper and then Prince, your song comes on and I'm just like, hey, and I'm like, oh man, and I'm pumping up. I got up to a higher level on this stepper than I ever have because like, I mean, I want them to play that song when I'm out on stage. Like, I am
Great.
into
Hey,
it.
hey,
Both
that's
of those
what's up.
songs are perfect.
Sweet. I'm glad that
Love
we could toss that energy your way then, you know?
Yes.
That's what it's all
Oh, yeah.
about.
Yes. I was like, Scotty and Prince would tell me to keep going. I'm going to do I'm going to do 5 more reps. I'm going to do 5 more
Hey,
reps.
Edit.
I love that too. When people say, man, you're like, I hear you when I'm not here or when you're not around.
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I can hear like, it's like you guys saying, there's another competitor doing 5 more reps. Why aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Why don't you? Why don't you do 6?
Michael Jordan always did extra reps.
That's true.
No, talk about MJ. Bring up that guy. Yes.
I know.
That guy.
Man. Hey, what you bumping to, Scotty? Hit us with something, man.
We Be Burning by Sean Paul.
Ooh,
Ah,
dude, that's such a good song, man.
one.
Be rocking
Dang, I
out
gotta
to
actually
that.
put that one on. We be burning. Got to put that one on.
We
I
Be
think I used to
Burning,
keep
not
cycling to
concerned.
that song. Yes.
All right,
Such a good
Yeah,
one.
that was definitely great.
man. I'm not gonna say the actual word, but we're gonna bring up Luda again.
Luda.
Just because if you need, well, actually, I got 2 songs by Luda that I've been listening to, but the one that I really love is called Beast Mode. But we all know this one, and you can't help but want to like get angry in a good way. It's Move Big, Get Out the Way.
Get out the way.
by
Yes.
Ludacris and Mystical, 2 of the most like high energy performing rap artists out there. That's what we've been bumping to this week in group fitness in my own workouts. Like it's been my warm up song too. Move Bit. It's been my warm up song for sure. And that like it's all gas after that.
I'm adding it.
Yeah,
I'm
that
adding
and
both of
Beast
these.
Mode. Yeah, Beast Mode is a good one too. Yeah, Ludacris, good stuff. All good songs. I was just listening to Diggable Planets. And then I got a bunch of Sean Paul. Like we got a lot of people who are like from the islands that come to the gym. And like, every now and then I'll try to, try throwing something that they want to hear. And Sean Paul, I mean, he's the guy, he's one of those guys.
Did you listen to that Bosley song?
No, is that new?
No, it was the one it was like a couple weeks ago for one of our episodes. It was Bosley. That was
No.
the one Sean Paul.
But
and
you
it had
said
Sean Paul in it. He's featured by it's by Idris Elba, but Sean Paul.
yeah, okay, yeah. Cause I was like, I don't remember you saying a Sean Paul song before, bro. Okay. You have mentioned Idris though.
Yeah,
a
definitely check
couple
that
of
out.
So
times.
when I
Sweet.
taught
Just the man.
cycling, the song Temperature,
Mhm.
okay, I used to
Hey.
do 2 up, 2 squat, 2 up, 2 squat, the whole
I remember you always talking about that.
entire
I remember you saying about
song
that.
on the bike. Talk about a booty burner. So good.
Hey, that's a good song. That song's timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to all the artists who've made timeless songs, man.
Mhm.
For sure, for sure. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. The quote, I don't necessarily have a quote for me today. I think this whole podcast was a quote of its own. But I'll bring it back to the beginning, just about mastering your energy. If you master it, it will take care of you. If you don't, it can destroy you. And I mean, you got power in that situation, but I believe that is very true.
Perfection.
All right, for sure. If y'all can't hear, my kids are calling me.
All right, let's go be a dad.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm glad I could be trained like Prince on this podcast, though, man. I appreciate y'all. We appreciate the viewers. Make sure y'all please like, subscribe, share, feedback. Y'all can find me on all platforms at Train Like Prince. Where can they find you, Ange? Ange Fit, where
Ange
somewhere
Fit.
down there.
Yeah.
Where we at Scotty the Body.
Right here, Sky the Body.
Yeah,
Instagram.
we're just gonna change him to just Coach Body. Coach Body. You got to
Coach
start talking to yourself in third person. What's going on, Body?
Never.
Yeah, that's Body.
That's body. Hey, body.
That's Body. Hey,
Oh,
well, all right, y'all. Peace.
see ya.
Deuces.
See you.